And now it's time for today's daily forecast with EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martrich.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is August 16th, 2018, and we will have a cold front approaching from the west that's not going to get here today. We will have a warm front that's going to affect maybe the central and northern regions, very north central and northeast PA later today with a few isolated thunderstorms, maybe a shower moving through. Overall, not a big deal. It's going to be very hot today, and humidity is going to be on the increase too as we get winds in here from the southwest. And temperatures will be in the 90 or above in many locations, except for the far north closest to that front. The front is actually extended eastward like this. Okay, so and they have an area low pressure. It's going to be sitting over southern Michigan. And, of course, the cold front is back here behind it. So this warm front being in close proximity is going to bring a little bit more in the way of cloud cover for areas in the far northern sections. So if you draw a line from, say, State College due eastward to about Mount Pocono and points north, I think that's where the areas that could get into the isolated showers today, or perhaps a thunderstorm. So let's get over the NAM high-res future simulated radar. I'm going to start this off here at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. You have some scattered activity starting to brew up in this area. And as you go through the course of the afternoon, here's 3, 4, 5. You can see scattered thunderstorm activity again, east of State College over to Mount Pocono. That's where we're drawing the line. We left a 20% chance in here down to I-78, but it's doubtful that it gets that far. Not impossible, so we left 20% chance in there. 1 in 5 chance of rain. I'm usually not bringing my umbrella with me, but just if you see something down there, don't be surprised. We did leave it out of areas further south down towards Philadelphia, though. It does look like it stays north of those regions. But this goes all the way up until about mid-evening. Here's 8 p.m., and then we have some scattered showers that'll be continuing overnight. For areas, again, in those same areas, far northern areas of Pennsylvania, closest to that warm front. But after that point, we think we're going to get rid of it, and then we'll have an opportunity for some clearing. And Friday is going to start off partly cloudy across most of the area. Some little bit of clouds hanging around up here in our northwestern locations and northern locations. So I don't expect anything in the way of severe weather here with a cold front here on Friday. You can see maybe a possible shower here with those cloudiness around, but further south and east, you should get into plenty of clearing down here, and that should allow the sun to come out, and you'll have some scattered thunderstorms popping here late in the day on Friday. Now, the shear is very low, at least to start. So when we get around 5 p.m., I checked a couple of the soundings out in these areas, and the shear is actually below 20 knots in many locations. So that's going to keep the organization from taking place. So we're just looking at scattered storms here, but a few of them could be pretty robust here with some gusty winds, and we'll take a better look at this tomorrow to see what we're looking at once the NAM is in better range. We have another 24 hours under our belt and 4 model cycles completed. But this is something that's similar to what we could be seeing later in the day on Friday. It looks like late afternoon and perhaps going into the evening with that cold front. Now, that cold front, like we've been talking about the last couple days, it's undecided yet what it's going to do once it gets past our region. Here's a look at Friday morning. You can see these scattered showers and thunderstorms moving eastward, and that's going to affect generally those areas I showed you here on the graphic before that with the NAM as we get later in the day. So it's mostly a mid to late afternoon onward type thing where you have the storms coming through. And again, cloudiness up in the far northwestern areas and northern locations that might hinder any severe possibilities or even strong storms. I think it's going to be further south and east from that. And then here is the frontal boundary. You see it's a mess here. Once we get into the overnight, it looks like it's starting to continue to east. The front's all the way back here yet. Okay, this is now Saturday. This is now Friday night. And we get to Saturday morning. It's still kind of crawling over western Pennsylvania. And now we're back on this kick again where you have the area low pressure trying to form a little bit further north than shown yesterday. We were showing an area low pressure forming right near the either the mouth of the Chesapeake or just south of there towards Norfolk or Virginia Beach. Now it's trying to put it up here over the Delmarva. All right, now this is only on certain models. The models that ran today, the European model and the GFS were showing a little bit of scattered shower activity getting this far to the north. I don't think Northeast PA is going to be in on this. You can see there's a dividing line here where the showers go, and this is probably up to about I-78 or thereabout, and then further south. This is on the European model to run today. Again, they flipped completely from what it was showing last night in the previous run. In the opposite side of the spectrum, the Canadian, the UK Met, and the NAM are further south with this. So it's going to be a tough call on what is going to happen with this boundary. If it stays further south, we get more dryness in most of our coverage area, if not all. And that boundary is going to be critical to where this area low pressure forms and along that boundary and moves along it. So if it's this far north, you're going to get showers all the way up to about I-78 on Saturday, and that's going to ruin some outdoor plans on Saturday. So like I was talking about in yesterday's video, if you watch this all the time, this is evolving, and we do this every single day because the models are still trying to figure this out. And it's a very tricky situation with the progression of this front and how quickly it moves through. If it's only down here like this and that low pressure is moving along it, well, guess what? You're going to get showers all the way up here to I-78, maybe even to the southern Poconos, okay? If you get this to be a little more progressive, meaning it moves in a little bit faster, and the frontal boundary is down here, well, then you have the area low pressure exiting around, Virginia Beach or thereabout, and all of this rain that's shown here is now south of the Mason-Dixon line. So, very critical forecast, just dependent on, or predicated on where that front sets up. And we're going to continue to narrow that down over the next couple model cycles, hopefully get a better handle on what's going to be happening for this weekend. It looks like we're concentrating on Saturday for that potential for at least mostly cloudy skies with a front in close proximity. And then Sunday maybe going to partly cloudy, in areas that were mostly cloudy the day before. But as the system continues to pull away, here you can see, here's a look at Sunday. It does have this further south, so we should go to partly cloudy skies here on Sunday, as long as this keeps moving out like it's shown. And if it's further south, it won't be a big deal either way. But then we're back to partly cloudy skies here on Monday. Most of Tuesday is also partly cloudy with clouds increasing later in the day, and then scattered thunderstorms with another cold front moving through. It's going to come in through either later Tuesday or Tuesday night overnight, and back to partly cloudy skies then on Wednesday behind that front. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martis. That is your outlook for August 16th, 2018. Have a great Thursday.